Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world with me, Deepika, coming up in the next 30 minutes. India take note of strategic mutual defence pact signed between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, says the government remains committed to ensuring comprehensive national security in all domains. Ukraine to get Patriot and HIMARS missiles in first US weapons supply under new mechanism. Aid to be first use of the new mechanism in which Ukraine's allies help pay for the weapons. Federal Reserve cuts interest rates by 25 basis points, warning that any aggressive easing could be inflationary. Powell says Fed strongly committed to independence. Cloudburst hits Uttarakhand's Chamoli, at least 10 missing, houses washed away. District administration intensifies relief and rescue operations. And India's ace athlete Neeraj Chopra set to play in the Javelin throw final at World Athletics Championship on Thursday. Good afternoon to all the viewers joining us at this afternoon broadcast. To begin with the latest. Well, India has taken a note of the signing of a strategic mutual defence pact between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan, with the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson saying the government was aware that this development, which formalizes a long-standing arrangement between the two countries, has been under consideration. We will study the implications of this development for our national security as well as for regional and global stability. The government remains committed to protecting India's national interests and ensuring comprehensive national security in all domains, unquote. India's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Harish Parvathineni, reaffirmed India's commitment to promoting peace, stability and development in Afghanistan during the UN Security Council's quarterly briefing on the country. Ambassador Parvathineni highlighted India's immediate priorities of providing humanitarian assistance and implementing capacity-building initiatives for the people of Afghanistan. He stressed on the importance of international and regional consensus on Afghanistan and reiterated India's support for the United Nations assistance mission in Afghanistan.
Monitoring the security situation in Afghanistan. The international community must coordinate efforts towards ensuring that entities and individuals designated by the UN Security Council, the ISIL and Al-Qaeda and their affiliates, including Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed, along with those who facilitate their operations, no longer exploit Afghan territory for terrorist activities. On the political front, India's External Affairs Minister has spoken twice with the Acting Foreign Minister of Afghanistan. We welcome the strong condemnation of the Pahalgam terrorist attack of 22nd April 2025 by the Afghan side. Mr. President, any coherent policy to address a post-conflict situation must combine incentivizing positive behavior and disincentivizing harmful actions.
India and the United States marked the start of a new era in their space partnership at an event titled India-USA Space Collaboration, the Frontiers of a Futuristic Partnership, hosted by the Embassy of India in Washington, D.C. Celebrating recent milestones, including the joint NASA-ISRO NISAR satellite and the Axiom Mission 4, the officials emphasized on how decades of collaborations are now setting the stage for exciting missions to the Moon and the Mars. NASA astronauts Sunita Williams, Nick Hague and Butch Wilmore were joined by India's Gagan Yatri Shubhanshu Shukla for a panel discussion. Ambassador of India to the United States, Vinay Mohan Kwatra, described the partnership as a dynamic platform for advancing scientific exploration, technology development and commercial cooperation. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw attended Public Affairs Forum of India in New Delhi on Thursday. Other Union Ministers Hardeep Singh Puri and Bhupinder Yadav attended the event, focused on policy discussions and economic reforms affecting households, farming and the middle class. The minister hailed that GST will make household, farming and middle class essentials cheaper and boosting demands in the market.
Now, the way GST has been structured, practically every household item, practically every item used in farming, practically every item used by aspirational middle class will get cheaper. That means when lower prices, the demand will get a significant impetus, a significant boost.
India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman attended the Indian Foundation for Quality Management event on Thursday. Speaking at the event, Sitharaman encouraged Indian industry to overcome its reluctance and increase investments, enhance production capacities and scale up output. She emphasized the need to equip the youth with the right skills to benefit from the demographic dividend, highlighting government efforts to upgrade ITIs in 750 districts and establish AI training hubs.
I think the biggest challenge for India, particularly when we are periodically reminding ourselves that we have an advantage of demographic dividend, we also have to periodically remind ourselves that we need to attend to their skilling requirement, or else industry will be hard pressed for human resource and will not get the advantage of the demographic dividend.
On the sidelines of the IFQM Symposium 2025 in New Delhi, Tata Steel's Managing Director TV Narendran said GST reforms may not directly affect steel, but boosting consumption will. He emphasized India's strong growth outlook despite global tensions, calling it a bright spot in a volatile world. Narendran urged a focus on demand to support industries like steel that power multiple sectors.
I think it's more an indirect impact than a direct impact, because the GST rates are not changed for steel. But many consuming industries are benefiting from it, whether the auto industry or the construction industry, because the GST rate for cement has come down. So any economic activity or increase in economic activity is good for the steel industry. So we see the indirect impact. I also think that some of the pent-up demand will come back, and particularly with the festival season around the corner, we expect the second half of the year to be much better than the first half of the steel industry.
Security forces killed 4 Naxals in separate encounters on Chhattisgarh-Maharashtra border this morning. 2 Naxals were neutralized in Bijapur, Chhattisgarh, while 2 women Naxals were gunned down in Gadchiroli district in Maharashtra. The bodies of all four have been recovered. The encounter in Gadchiroli took place near Gatta Jambia along the Kanked-Maharashtra border. Personnel of C-60 commandos and CRPF were on an anti-Naxal operation when the exchange of fire broke out. An AK-47 rifle, a country-made rifle and other Maoist materials were recovered from the site. The identities of the slain women Naxals are yet to be established. The Chinar Corps of the Indian Army has paid tribute to fallen soldiers in Uri, Jammu and Kashmir, acknowledging their bravery and sacrifice against terrorist attack. Honouring the valour and sacrifice of the brave hearts, Indian Army said Chinar Corps honours the indomitable spirit and selfless sacrifice of fallen brave hearts who confronted a dastardly terrorist attack with unyielding courage and made the supreme sacrifice while defending the Indian Army camp at Uri in Jammu and Kashmir. Their unparalleled bravery and sacrifice continue to inspire us and remain eternally etched in collective memory. On to weather updates now. The Indian Meteorological Department has forecast continued heavy to very heavy rainfall across several states for the next 2 to 3 days. According to the Met Department, heavy rainfall over Andhra Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Bihar, coastal Karnataka, East UP, Kerala and Mahe, Konkan, Maharashtra and Uttarakhand is forecasted. IMD also issued yellow alert with thunderstorm accompanied with lightning at isolated places over Jammu and Kashmir, Jharkhand, Odisha, Rayalaseema, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Karaikal and West Bengal along with Sikkim. Strong surface winds were very much likely at isolated places over Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Squally wind with speed reaching up to 45 km per hour to 55 km per hour, gusting to 65 km per hour is likely to prevail over some parts of the southwest. Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu held a high-level meeting to assess the damage from recent torrential rains across the state. He expressed deep concerns over the loss of lives and properties and directed all the concerned officers to take prompt action to ensure the safety and well-being of the affected people. He also instructed to reinstate electricity, water supply schemes and other essential supplies in affected areas on priority. He added that under special relief packages, the state government is providing 10,000 rupees and 5,000 rupees as rent in urban and rural areas for those who were rendered homeless during the disaster. Heavy rain lashed northern Indian state of Uttarakhand's Chamoli. It has now subsided and a mild sunshine has also come out. The Badrinath National Highway is blocked at Nandaprayag at the moment. Work is underway to restore these roads that were damaged due to another cloudburst and heavy debris flow in Chamoli. 6 buildings were reduced to rubble in Kuntri Langafali ward of Nandanagar. The local administration said that 10 people are missing while 2 have been rescued. Relief and rescue operation is currently underway. And confirming the incident, Chief Minister of Uttarakhand Pushkar Singh Dhami took to social media platform X and said, and I quote him here, "Sad news has been received that the heavy rainfall in Nandan Nagar Ghat area of Chamoli district has caused damage to nearby houses. Local administration, Uttarakhand State Disaster Response Force and police teams have reached the spot immediately and are engaged in relief and rescue operations. In this regard, I am in constant contact with the administration and I am personally monitoring the situation closely. I pray to God for the safety of all." Unquote. With an aim to expand BSNL's mobile connectivity reach across India, Department of Posts and Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited signed strategic MOU for SIM sales and mobile recharge services. Under this agreement, DOP will leverage its unparalleled postal network of over 1.65 lakh post offices for the sale of BSNL SIM cards and mobile recharge services across the country. The vast reach of India Post that touches almost every village and town in India will serve as a powerful last mile channel for BSNL to enhance its presence in both urban and rural geographies. The initiative aims to make BSNL's telecom services more accessible and affordable, particularly for citizens in the remotest parts of the country who often struggle with limited connectivity. By combining BSNL's telecom infrastructure with India Post's nationwide presence, this initiative sets a new benchmark in public sector synergy for citizen-centric service delivery. From remote villages to high-tech cities, from shopkeepers to startups, India's digital journey in the past decade has been nothing short of revolutionary. At the heart of this transformation is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of Digital India, a vision that has reshaped how 140 crore Indians live, learn, work and dream.
In 2014, India had about 25 crore internet connections. Today, that number has grown to nearly 97 crore. Internet data, once among the world's costliest, is now the cheapest in the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has often said that Digital India is not just a government program, it is a people's movement.
When our Prime Minister Modi ji spoke about his dream of making India the global drone hub by 2030. That inspiration gave birth to our company Drone Anatomy. What truly enabled this journey was the ecosystem that had been built. Supportive policies, encouragement for domestic manufacturing, and most importantly, the digital infrastructure that made doing business faster, simpler, and more transparent.
UPI now processes more than 100 billion transactions annually, accounting for nearly half of the world's real-time digital payments. Through direct benefit transfer, 44 lakh crore rupees has been sent directly to the beneficiaries, cutting out middlemen and saving the exchequer nearly 3.5 lakh crore rupees. Small businesses too are reaping benefits. ONDC, the Open Network for Digital Commerce, has crossed 200 million transactions, helping small shopkeepers compete with e-commerce giants. The government's GEM platform has seen sales over 1 lakh crore in just 50 days, empowering 22 lakh sellers, including thousands of women-led MSMEs. India's digital public infrastructure is now a global model. Aadhaar, the world's largest digital ID system, is used for everything from banking to welfare. CoWIN managed the world's biggest vaccination drive, issuing 220 crore vaccination certificates. DigiLocker now has 54 crore users, storing over 775 crore digital documents. India today is among the top 3 startup ecosystem in the world, with over 1.8 lakh startups and more than 110 unicorns. The India AI mission, with an outlay of 10,282 crore, making India a hub for affordable AI research and innovation. As the nation celebrates Prime Minister Modi's birthday, his legacy shines through India's digital revolution, a revolution that connects people, powers progress, and position India as a global leader. Tapash Bhattacharya's report, TD India.
Time to take a short break, but still to come on the other side. King Charles and Trump hail UK-US special relationship in state banquet speech. Venezuela launches Caribbean military drills amid tensions with the United States. And in yet another thrilling encounter, India all set to face Pakistan in Super 4 encounter on 21st of September.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on TD India.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India Live. Well, Ukraine will get missiles for Patriot air defense systems and HIMARS rocket launchers in the first batch of weapons sent under a new funding program agreed upon by the United States and Ukraine's European allies. Ukraine has secured over $2 billion in financing for US-produced weapons via the NATO-led Prioritized Ukraine Requirements List, or PURL. President Volodymyr Zelensky expects total committed funds to reach $3.5 billion in the month of October. NATO allies hope to provide $10 billion in arms for Ukraine. HIMARS are ground-launched rocket-propelled artillery that have been crucial to Ukraine's fight with Russia. US President Donald Trump has long been critical of the billions of dollars United States has spent on military aid for Ukraine. The PURL initiative offers a way for Europe to pay for the weapons and the US to send them.
We
received more than $2 billion from our partners under PURL program. During October, I think we will receive an extra funding. I think we will have in total around $3.5 to $3.6 billion. Regarding the first 2 packages, each worth $500 million. I understood you asked what those packages will include. I will not disclose all the details, but they will definitely include missiles for Patriot and HIMARS systems.
Moreover, amidst growing tensions in Russia-Ukraine conflict, Denmark said it will for the first time acquire long-range precision weapons, citing the need for deterrence capabilities in light of the threat from Russia.
For the first time, Denmark will build up military capacity in the form of long-range precision weapons. This is a paradigm shift in Danish defense policy. With these weapons, the armed forces will be able to hit targets at long range and, for example, also defeat enemy missile threats. This is a type of weapon that we do not have in Denmark.
Og det er det selvfølgelig i særdeleshed for Ukraine.
US President Donald Trump on Wednesday hailed the special relationship between his country and Britain as he paid a gushing tribute to King Charles during his historic second state visit, calling it one of the highest honors of his life. King Charles and the royal family hosted a lavish banquet for Trump and his wife Melania at Windsor Castle, where he was treated to the full array of British pageantry, from a carriage procession and a lavish banquet. The King's speech at the dinner for 160 guests emphasized the deep connection between the two countries and the need to maintain cultural, trading and military links. In his address, Trump also praised British heritage and shared values.
We're joined by history and fate, and by love and language, and by transcendent ties of culture, tradition, ancestry, and destiny. We're like two notes in one chord, or two verses of the same poem, each beautiful on its own, but really meant to be played together. The bond of kinship and identity between America and the United Kingdom is priceless and eternal. It's irreplaceable and unbreakable, and we are, as a country, as you know, doing unbelievably well.
The state visit will continue on Thursday, including Queen Camilla and the Princess of Wales at events with the First Lady Melania Trump. It will move from a royal spectacle to political talks and a news conference as Trump travels to meet Prime Minister Keir Starmer at his country house, Chequers. Venezuela said on Wednesday it had begun 3 days of military exercises on its Caribbean island as tensions soar amid US military activity in the region. Defense Minister Vladimir Patrino Lopez said the 3-day drills were ordered by President Nicolas Maduro. Public television showed images of amphibious vessels and warships deployed off La Orchila, where Venezuela has a military base. Now, video also depicted amphibious tanks landing on the beaches and soldiers securing their positions. While the armed forces said the exercises involved 12 ships, 22 aircraft and 20 small boats from the Special Naval Militia. The beach island is close to the area where the United States intercepted and held a Venezuelan fishing vessel for 8 hours over the weekend. Moving on to business, the Federal Reserve, goaded by the risk of rising unemployment, reduced interest rates on Wednesday for the first time since the month of December and indicated more cuts would follow to halt any slide in a labour market already experiencing higher joblessness, a declining work week and other signs of weakness. Fed Chair Jerome Powell, speaking in a press conference after the US Central Bank lowered its benchmark interest rates by 0.25 percentage point to 4% to 4.25% range and indicated more cuts would follow at meetings in October and December, said the softening job market was now top of the mind for him and his fellow policymakers. Powell's comments cap a steady shift in tone that began over the summer as Fed officials concluded that the higher import tariffs imposed by the Trump administration would not lead to persistent inflation, with faster price increases expected through the end of the year, but price pressure is also expected to fade after that time, even as monetary policy becomes looser. On to sports now. India's ace athlete Neeraj Chopra has qualified for the Javelin throw final at the World Athletics Championship in Tokyo on Wednesday. Defending champion Chopra hurled the javelin to 84.85 meters in his first attempt to breach the qualification mark of 84.5 meters. The final will take place on Thursday, where double Olympic medalist Neeraj Chopra will chase the third medal of the championships. India's Sachin Yadav also managed to squeeze into the final after finishing 10th with a commendable 83.67 meters throw. In cricket, update on the Asia Cup, which will enter the Super 4 stage on Saturday. Pakistan sealed their place in the Super 4s of the Asia Cup with a 41-run victory over UAE in Dubai. Pakistan finished the group stage with 4 points from 3 games, slotting in alongside India, who topped the standing with 4 points from 2 games and are yet to play Oman on Friday. India and Pakistan will clash in the Super 4s on Sunday. In Pool B, the Super 4 spots are still up for grabs. Afghanistan and Sri Lanka square off in a must-win Pool B encounter on Thursday. Afghanistan have to win in order to make the Super 4 or else Bangladesh get in ahead of them. Sri Lanka merely have to avoid losing by a huge margin to advance further. Women's Indian Open 2025 is set to kick off on the 9th of October in Gurugram. The India's biggest golf tournament will be held from the 9th till the 12th of October at the Golf and Country Club with a total prize purse of $500,000. The event is co-sanctioned by Ladies European Tour and will feature a strong field of 114 players from across the globe. President of Women's Golf Association of India, Kavita Singh, highlighted how it has grown into one of the most prestigious tournaments.
It's been a long journey for us, like I've mentioned in the past, from 5 girls now to about 65 girls. And we've come a long way. We have produced a few Indian winners. International competition, I always feel that it sort of preps them. They play in different conditions against the best players on the Ladies European Tour.
And that's all for this edition of DD India News, DD India Live. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from the country and the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.